Three Feathers, a fairy tale by the brothers Grimm, as narrated by Scott Leffler for Stop, Book, and Listen. There was, once upon a time, a king who had 3 sons, of whom 2 were clever and wise, but the third did not speak much and was simple, and was called the Simpleton. When the king had become old and weak and was thinking of his end, he did not know which of his sons should inherit the kingdom after him. Then he said to them, "Go forth, and he who brings me the most beautiful carpet shall be king after my death." And that there should be no dispute amongst them, he took them outside his castle, blew 3 feathers in the air, and said, "You shall go as they fly." 1 feather flew to the east, the other to the west, but the third flew straight up and did not fly far, but soon fell to the ground. And now 1 brother went to the right, and the other to the left, and they mocked Simpleton, who was forced to stay where the 3rd feather had fallen. He sat down and was sad. Then all at once he saw that there was a trap door close by the feather. He raised it up, found some steps, and went down them, and then he came to another door, knocked at it, and heard somebody inside calling. "Little green maiden small, hopping hither and thither, hop to the door and quickly see who is there." The door opened, and he saw a great fat toad sitting, and round about her a crowd of little toads. The fat toad asked what he wanted. He answered, "I should like to have the prettiest and finest carpet in the world." Then she called a young one and said, "Little green maiden small, hopping hither and thither, hop quickly and bring me the great box here." Then Simpleton, without more ado, went down to the fat toad and said, "I am to take home the most beautiful woman." "Oh," answered the toad, "the most beautiful woman. She is not at hand at the moment, but still thou shalt have her." She gave him a yellow turnip which had been hollowed out, to which 6 mice were harnessed. Then Simpleton said quite mournfully, "What am I to do with that?" The toad answered, "Just put 1 of my little toads into it." Then he seized one at random out of the circle and put her into the yellow coach, but hardly was she seated inside it than she turned into a wonderfully beautiful maiden, and the turnip into a coach, and the 6 mice into horses. So he kissed her and drove off quickly with the horses and took her to the king. His brothers came afterwards. They had given themselves no trouble at all to seek beautiful girls, but had brought with them the first peasant woman they chanced to meet. When the king saw them, he said, "After my death, the kingdom belongs to my youngest son." But the 2 eldest deafened the king's ears afresh with their clamor. "We cannot consent to Simpleton being king," and demanded that the one whose wife could leap through a ring which hung in the center of the hall should have the preference. They thought, "The peasant women can do that easily. They're strong enough, but the delicate maiden will jump herself to death." The aged king agreed likewise to this. Then the 2 peasant women jumped through the ring, but were so stout that they fell, and their coarse arms and legs broke into 2. And then the pretty maiden whom Simpleton had brought with him sprang through as lightly as a deer, and all opposition had to cease. So he received the crown and has ruled wisely for a length of time. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the book and my narration, please leave me a like and subscribe to Stop, Book, and Listen so you'll know when I publish more books.